Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 5 Drinks for Midnight, Quarantine Edition. Today we're talking to Abby Titcomb, head distiller at Floyds Distilling. But before we do, like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Let's get started. Abby, thank you so much for joining us. 5 drinks or midnight, 5 drinks, midnight, whatever comes first. How are we doing?
Doing great. It's a cold, shitty day here in Chicago, so I'm ready for some booze, that's for
Excellent.
sure.
Well, I think we got 5 really great drinks. I'm really excited to try. What are we having first?
All right, well, I pulled a fast one on you. So I told you I was going to be having a Free Floyds beer, but all I have is War Pigs beer, which is technically still Free Floyds.
Okay.
War Pigs is our collab brewery with Mikkeller over in, the original is in Copenhagen, and we just started distributing in the States. Well, I guess not just, but 3 years ago now. So we have a USA division as well.
Okay.
So it's called Lazurite. It's delicious.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. What should I drink? Because I got the zombie dust, like you said.
Yeah.
And then I also got the Alpha King.
Have you ever had our beer before?
No, and actually, I'm gonna let you in on a terrible secret. I hate beer with a passion. So, and I've said this for years and years, but I've had 3 people actually change my mind on beer. So,
okay.
I can't say that anymore because I now have some Town Branch bourbon out of Kentucky that I really, really like. So now everything's new and open. So it's a whole new world.
It is a whole new world. Well, I guess on that note, I would go with the Zombie Dust.
Okay.
If you've never had our beer before, that's like the one that people really lose their shit over. And I mean, it's super drinkable, hoppy. It's not going to be as like lasting bitter as the AK, in my opinion. So there you go.
Excellent. Go ahead, put that back. And then, is it a glass or a can beer?
Just drink it out of the can. I don't give a shit.
All right, cool.
I'm not getting it.
Making sure. All right.
All right.
Well, cheers.
Cheers. Tink.
Ding. Oh yeah, that's a beer.
That's a beer. Respect. All
right, so let's get into question 1.
Sure.
How did somebody that studied photography become head distiller? Because I went to art school too, and like once I've my social stalking revealed your background, I'm like, you have accomplished everything that I wanted to be when I grow up. So I want to know, like, how'd you go from photography to head distiller?
Yeah, I went to the Art Institute. Well, first I went to the U of M, Minnesota, and then I went to the Art Institute from there. Majored in photography for a BFA. And then like two years, so technically 4 years into college, I kind of realized that I was fine at it, but like there were so many other people that were so much better. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do the world a favor and like not try this anymore. Like I can be a fun little like hobby photographer. But this is just not my jam. So I dipped out and that was it. So I was kind of looking for really anything else. I wanted to make something. Like I really wanted to like produce something. I just didn't know what that was. So, maybe a year and a half or so after I quit art school, I moved to Chicago just kind of on a whim. I came down here for 1 weekend and I just had so much fun that 3 months later, I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna move to Chicago. I have nothing in Minneapolis anymore for me. So here I am. And I was a bartender and I really got into craft beer. My first craft beer that really turned me was Bell's Two-Hearted. That was at the Happy Gnome in St. Paul, Minnesota. And then from there, my first Free Floyds beer was at the Green Eye here. I was maybe living here like 2 months, and that was the Gumball Head. That's our gateway beer, I consider. And I was just kind of out with some people one day, and in a restaurant, it's service industry. I started bartending when I was 18, because in Minnesota, I'm sure as you know, you can bartend when you're 18. I I'm just like, I really like beer. Like, how can I turn this into a career? And then it was like, ting, I'm going to go to brewing school. And that was it. So I went to brewing school. I went to Siebel, which is here, which I believe now is part of Kendall College, which is a culinary school. And then, I mean, I knew it was just kind of about like getting my foot in the door somewhere. And so I finished brewing school. I took the class that I could afford because at that point, student debt, 4 years of college didn't really work out that well. So I just went for like a shorter course, and it was great. I mean, it was for someone, coming from like an art institute background and like then just hard left into like very technical, very scientific thinking. Can you hear that? Sorry, that's my cat's like chewing something plastic. Okay,
no, you're good. Totally fine.
Great. It was like drinking through. It was like trying to drink through a fire hose. I mean, it was just like so much information. It was just such a hard left in the way that you have to kind of like reorganize your brain, I guess. But I did it and passed that. And then what was my first? I kept bartending, and then I was out with one of my girlfriends one night, and she went to go see this dude that was bartending at this place called the Cobra Lounge here. And him and I started talking about beer, and he's like, well, shit, I work at the brew pub at Three Floyds. I think we need someone in the back, like building boxes or something. Give me your resume and I can see what I can do. And at that point, I'm like, yeah, okay. Like this dude just like wants my number or whatever. I didn't believe him. I thought he was totally full of shit. He's like, yeah. And I was working at this bar. And so I'm like, well, I'm actually, at 5 Star tomorrow. How about you just swing by and like, I'll give him my resume or whatever. And he did. He showed up. I did not expect him to at all. And I got in to Three Floyds maybe a month later. And my first job was like physically popping open 6-packs and then taping the bottom of cases and putting the 6-packs in there. We were so small back then. We've like grown exponentially since then. I did that for about 4 months, and then Nick Floyd knew that I had gone to brewing school, and at that point he was phasing out of like the physical brewing part and really just getting into the overseeing and kind of like running the business, because at that point, like I said, we were growing exponentially at that point, and he'd been doing it for so long, and it was just kind of time for him to shift. Brewing's really hard on your body. I mean, it is a tough job. So he's like, well, my back's fucked and we need someone. So do you want to be a brewer? And I'm like, that would be like my dream job, 5 years in. And for that to be, the first beer job that I ever got was just insane to me. Like it was fucking crazy. So I was a brewer for, 6 years, about 5.5 years or so. And then we had been talking at my very first interview with Nick. I'm not sure how much you know about Nick Floyd, but he is not a corporate dude. Like I think if you would ask him about like the success of Three Floyds and the expansion of Three Floyds, he would like, I never fucking expected this to happen, so interviews like weren't necessarily, it was very informal at that point. But my first interview with him, he's like, what else do you like drink? Are you interested in whiskey and all that? I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. And he's like, well, how would you feel about a distillery? I'm like, fuck yeah, sign me up. And 5 years later, we broke ground on a new bottling hall that also included a distillery. So like, if you're looking at our building, it's like the brew pub, the brewery, huge, beautiful bottling hall, and then distillery at the end. And I started doing R&D in 2016. And we finally got our production license after a ton of bureaucratic bullshit, permitting, and it's in Indiana too. So, sure. I mean, it's a nightmare. But we finally got our production license in 2017, and we started laying down barrels and cranking out gin and doing all that shit ever since. So that's where I'm at.
That's awesome. That's a fucking great origin story. Because again, I'm very jealous. Because like that's. I went to school for illustration, became a graphic designer, and like it just like now, like I just like, man, if someone could have told me that I could just make whiskey instead of drinking it, my life would be so much fucking cooler. Like, it just...
I mean, it was definitely like an epitome. It was to say epitome. Jesus, I'm not even like 2 sips into this beer yet. Epiphany. Where it's like, how does this very simple answer not come to me before? Yeah, I mean, I have to recognize that it's also about timing. I mean, timing is everything. If I hadn't have gone to the Cobra Lounge with my friend and that dude hadn't actually been a good dude and like came up and grabbed, my resume, I'm not sure if I would be here, and then getting there at the exact time that Nick really had to transition out of like physically brewing. Again, it's such an infuriating answer to hear. I'm sure it's like, it's all about timing. I just got lucky, but I have to recognize that.
But I think that's, again, right place, right time. Like, it happens for a reason, so I'm all for that. Well, that's question one. So, all right. So on to question two.
All right.
What are we drinking?
We are drinking a Falcon Cloak, which is our Busthead Aquavit, which you got right there, that beautiful little bottle. Date syrup and lemon juice. Pretty easy serve. And I mean, you have yours up, which is generally the way we would serve it, but I just have a dirty dump ice, and that's it.
All right. Well, cheers.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh.
Right, that works. It works so well.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
That'll get you.
Oh, all right. Oh, that's really fucking good.
Good.
Oh. See, I told you I was not a beer guy, but I love the.
Hell yeah. You got your cleanse now. You're good.
I feel so much better. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, on to our question two. So you guys have a motto, and with a lot of mottos, they mean much more than just what they say, but it's also on all your bottles, which is, it's not normal. Mm-hmm. What does that mean, and what does it mean to you, and how do you carry it over into everyday life?
That is a great question. Okay, so first, well, it comes from the brewery, of course, and it really was kind of about it. We didn't brew anything to style, especially when Nick Floyd started. It was like in a garage in Hammond, Indiana, and he didn't brew IPAs to style. I mean, he would never admit this and probably kill me if he heard me say this, but I believe that what he has done to the for the American craft brewing world is kind of partly responsible for where it's at now, especially like just these super aggressive hops. I mean, he would say that people in 1996, 1997 would send back Alpha King and Dreadnoughts like, this has gone bad, this is too bitter. And so I think that was really just kind of an extension of like who he was and like his character, it kind of just grew organically. And then from there, it was just like all of these like weirdos just gravitated towards Three Floyds. And it really was like everyone that, especially when I got hired, I mean, I was the third, well, let's see, technically the second brewer that wasn't like one of the partners hired. So, and we're up to, oh God, like a dozen brewers now. But I mean, it really just became like kind of a refuge for weirdos and just people that like didn't really have a bar or a place that they like really felt like they belonged. I know it sounds kind of lame, but especially in like Indiana, Northwest Indiana, it's like that crew, that scene is like not there. I mean, it might carry over from Chicago, but it was all, just like tattooed dudes and just that listened to metal, and that was it. And so I think it really just kind of organically grew from the personalities that like really came to Three Floyds. I'm bringing that over to the distillery. I mean, I'm sure you can tell, especially from the Aquavit. I'm not necessarily trying to reinvent the wheel because I'm a firm believer in just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
Sure.
But I still want to, turn it up to 11, so to speak. So I still want to, really change people's minds about how they drink and really like appreciate the quality of it. And you can drink weird shit. Well, it's not weird, I guess, but it could be weird to Americans, like Aquavit, it's fairly new, to people, especially that aren't like in the cocktail industry or the booze industry. It's relatively new. Like it's, and I just, again, it's not normal. We just kind of want to, I don't know, go aggressive with it, go big or go home kind of thing, And I guess how that translates into my own life. I mean, well, talking about my parents, they will tell you that I was always just, I'd never, to a fault sometimes, I never wanted to do things the way I was supposed to do them. And that really was just like, it was like in my bones. Like I hated that shit. Like I hated, like checklist people. It's like, well, you're going to go to school, you're going to go to college, you're going to get a job, you're going to get married, you're going to have kids. I don't want to fucking do any of that. I mean, I want to do that, but it doesn't have to be in that order kind of thing, you know? I was always a do whatever the fuck you want to do, be a good person, and you don't have to follow any sort of set of rules. And I just read the and I mean I was just like an angsty, rebellious, you know, person, which is so funny because like I talk about like I was so lucky to have parents. Like my life was not hard. Like I was like a straight A student. I was like a good kid, but I'm like, everything sucks anyway. And it didn't. But, you know, it was just, I don't know. It was just for whatever. Where the fuck was I going with that? I don't know. I mean, you know, again, I read this book recently and it had a line in it that said, rebellion is a cage. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, I thought I was, it's like, I'm just like every other rebel then, I guess.
Yeah.
Fuck, way to call me out.
Yeah. That's, yeah. And again, I sound so creepy, but social stalking, you were like,
no, you told me you were going to do it. You know,
yeah.
It's not.
Well, again, at least I wasn't liking Instagram posts from like 7 years ago. So, but like, it was just like, I was like going through it and like you had your 9 Inch Nails post, your downward spiral. And I was like, cheers to you, my friend. Like we are going to be.
9 Inch Nails, I mean, that is a band that is just always in my rotation. I can always listen to 9 Inch Nails. It's always just like what I go back to. And I mean, Trent Reznor is just he's fucking brilliant. Like
He's God.
He truly like, and I don't say it about it like a lot of people. I really don't get, you know, I don't fangirl a lot, but yeah.
I'm there with you. So yeah, it's just and again, being small town Wisconsin kid, as like all my friends were listening to Steve Miller and Jock Jams and like all that other stuff, and like here I am, Ned's Atomic Dustbin and 9 Inch Nails, and just getting all fucking angry about it. And they're like, oh yeah, like we're in the field, and we're all like, yeah, Steve Miller, and I'm like, fuck that. This is called Trent Reznor. Here you go.
Dude, we are this. Yes, we grew up the exact same way. Maybe that was why, just because like everything was so fucking boring.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just. But I mean, I'll say so. You're from Watertown, so that's closer to like bigger towns and closer to Chicago than like. Yeah. So I'm from New Richmond, Wisconsin.
Yeah, you're way up there.
Way up there. So like, if this is Wisconsin, we're like right there.
You're closer to, which is why I assume why you went to Minnesota is because you were really close to Minnesota then.
Yeah. So like my dad was a firefighter from Minneapolis. That's how close like that is. Yeah. So but yeah, I mean, still, you know, I say that New Richmond, I might get a lot of shit for this for people from New Richmond, but I don't really give a shit.
Well, again, if it's off the record, we're just two friends talking. So if you just stay off the record, I don't have to put it in. So.
Oh my God, no, I do not give a shit. Truly, I wouldn't say it if. You know, I feel like things just get there later. It's a small ass town. It's like it's growing, sure, but you know, it like the Sex Pistols like never got to New Richmond. Yeah. You know, like bands like that, like 9 Inch Nails was only probably, you know, got to New Richmond only because of MTV. But like if it wasn't on MTV, you didn't fucking know about it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But yeah, that's what about Chicago is like. I got here and I just I don't know. I just immediately felt like I just was supposed to be here, and I don't necessarily believe in fate or destiny or whatever, but I just like it fit, you know.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. So well, again, that's an awesome second question. So
cheers to the weird kids, huh?
Cheers to the weird kids. On to question 3. What are we drinking?
We are drinking a Shapeshifter. So it's our White Witch gin, which is people seem to love this one, which is fucking great because I did not expect this to be our number one and, you know, kind of our most award-winning. I don't know why I did that because it's just a fact. But yeah, I mean, it's our Midwestern gin. So just fucking hit it super hard with fresh ginger, pink peppercorn, and lemongrass and lime peel. And so again, foundational, super simple drink. Shapeshifter is a gimlet with the White Witch.
Excellent. Well, cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's good.
Perfect.
Oh, that's nice and peppery.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that is fucking good. All right.
Yeah.
So, question 3. You brought it up a little bit. You guys have won quite a bit of awards for your spirits, which is fucking amazing.
Thank you.
You guys have conquered gin, rum, whiskey, beer. Do you think that you guys are the forefounders of setting up a new category, which is Midwest spirits? And if so, what do you think's next?
Like for us, next for us, or next for as an industry?
I mean, I think for you guys, I mean, because I mean, I'm loving the Midwest because I think there's the Texas whiskey and all that
sure.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like that people are trying to really get into those categories. But I mean, I really love the Midwest kind of gumps of we can do this as well.
Yeah.
I think Chicago or Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, there's something 17 new distilleries that have in the past 2 years that have started popping up. And that idea of Midwest kind of bourbon, rye, or even spirits. I mean, fuck, you guys even make rum. Geez, that's
and aquavit. What the fuck?
It just blows my mind. So, I mean, do you think you're leading that forefront of Midwesterners can do it too? And then what do you think is what's the next spirit that you want to mess with?
Great question. So, I mean, I guess I'd have to answer this question with we're definitely not the first. Definitely not the first. I don't know that we're leading, but I do. I hope we're changing the game a little bit, like we always have. We really want people. It all comes, from asking people to have open minds, and I don't know that we're leading anything yet. I mean, that'd be cool. I just don't know what that would be yet. Especially, well, maybe the gin. I mean, the gin's the runaway, absolutely.
Well, maybe leading's a tough. You're award-winning the path, I guess. Is
sure.
That's where I was going. I'm not saying we're the only one doing it. We're
right. Yeah.
But I mean, your stuff is good and it's winning awards and people are taking notice, and that's where I wanted to interview you because I really think that you guys have a voice and
sure.
I think you originally not knowing anything about you when I first reached out, I just think that I was never even heard of these guys, but they're winning awards, so something's got to be going on there, and their beers named after Dungeons and Dragons, so hey, let's get.
Yep. I mean, I really just think it's more continuing a legacy, if that kind of makes sense. Yeah, I mean, we're super fortunate to have won these awards, especially since kind of going back to that first question, about the it's not normal, right? So we don't necessarily distill anything to style, even though I'm still honoring American distilling techniques and those traditions, because I have a ton of respect for that, obviously.
Absolutely.
But we're also still trying to be innovative. My spirit still has a double gin basket, which I haven't seen. I can't say it doesn't exist before us because I don't know, but so it's got double gin basket and each of them is valved off. So when I'm vapor distilling something, I can just switch baskets and I can keep refilling and emptying those baskets and just keep those botanicals super fresh, because especially in gin, and just anything botanical forward, if you overcook your botanicals, it gets super, super tannic, bitter, just kind of gross. You're not getting any of that kind of cooked vegetal flavor. So, I mean, I think, we have that to our advantage for sure. But it's funny that you say that, because I always think, and I say this a lot, probably on a weekly basis, well, why the fuck didn't anyone else think of this before we did? Or how do people not think this way? And I know maybe it's a dick thing to say, but I mean, we're doing a special because we're doing it, and we're winning awards for it, which is fucking insane to me, especially in our first year. But also it's well, I mean, why isn't anyone else doing this? I don't know.
But that's I think why you're leading the way, because you just like, and again, I think it goes back to the first question, which is you don't like to tick the boxes. You don't want to go to college. You don't want to get married. You don't want to have kids. Like, it's not the way that no one fucking works that way anymore. Like, it's not the 50s. You don't have to do that. And again, not saying that if it was easy, everybody would be able to do it. But like, I think that to the point of being just doing it, like, we're, again, social stalking, but like you've done a lot of, like, we just wanted to go do this, and that's
just fucking do it. Like, you know, I wish I had like a better answer, you know, especially it's like, well, why'd you choose to make this? I'm like, I don't know, because I wanted to figure out how to make it, and it worked out, and you know, I wish I had more poetic answers, I guess.
No, but it's actually, I think it's fucking great. Like, I think that I just wanted to do it, and I think that there's no better reason for that. And you know, like you said, like, be a good person, not hurting anybody. I just wanted to do it, and like that. So who's it hurting? Anybody? Like, nobody but you. Like, it's just, I just wanted to go do it, and I think, you know, you guys are doing it. So like, that's literally And
yeah, I guess to your point, you know, to be recognized for that, I mean, it's very humbling. I mean, I honestly, I was kind of blown away from, you know, the first competition that we entered, you know, got all, let's see, we got 3-4 triple golds, and then like the rest were just regular ass golds. All right.
Okay. So on to question 4. Not even midnight yet. We're just flying through, having a good time.
Yeah.
What are we drinking?
We are drinking the Divine Right white whiskey. So I have one of the very first bottles bottled, so it looks different than yours, but same malt bill, and mine's at 109. Oh God. What about you?
100.7.
All right. We're just gonna do a shot of this.
You got a little bit more kick to the face.
A little bit. It's consensual kick to the face, though. I'm signing up for it, so here we go. I'm glad I have a beer now. Woo!
All right. Well.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah. Ooh! Ooh, that's hot. It's not going to be, you know, like your typical shine for sure.
No, that's hot.
My mouth is sweating a little bit, but it's 98% malt. It's like just kind of a whisper of corn. So that's where that comes from. And then that sulfur back a little bit. That's all just yeast esters. Hot fermentation. That's it.
That's yep, that's a shot. Ooh.
That is a shot. Okay.
Question 4. So, you have one of the greatest stories, I think, out of all my interviews. You've gone from art school to box folder to bartender to brewer to distiller. Do you have any advice for anybody like trying to get into this business? What would your advice be for them?
Well, one, if it's going to be open a distillery or brewery, don't do that. Open a distributorship, because that's where the fucking money is. Besides that, I mean, it kind of two different answers, but also one for both. So if you want to get into the brewing industry, study your shit, be humble, but that goes for both industries. Be humble, work your fucking ass off. Get your foot in the door. That is like the one thing that I truly can say. It's like, and also brewers, home brewers at least, I respect what you're doing. I want you to experiment at home. Brewers do not want to taste your home brew. Sorry. It's just not gonna, I'm sorry. However, just if you do get a job in a brewery, whether it's mopping the floors or fucking folding boxes like I got there, or whatever, if you get your foot in the door, just ask a million questions. Don't be a dick, and work your ass off. Be the first person there and the last person to leave. If you want to be a distiller, and if you want to make whiskey especially, I think one of the big corners that especially American distillers cut is their fermentation. So there's this, it's not a myth because it's true, but you know, and I'm not talking shit on hillbillies that fucking still moonshine down in the holler, but you know, I remember seeing like maybe it was an episode of Moonshiners or something. No, I was on a distillery tour, and this is my very first distillery tour. It's actually in my hometown, and it's called 45th Parallel. And the guide actually showed us like an open bucket of yeast, which one, like, holy shit, that's a nightmare as a brewer. And then he put his bare ass hand into the bucket of yeast, and I was like, I like audibly shrieked. He's like, oh no, you know, it doesn't, not that he said it, but you know, the idea is that like it doesn't matter because you can always just throw shit in the barrel and fix it. I hate that. I think everything matters. I think from grain to glass, it fucking matters. You start with shit, you end with shit. So distillers, if you want to make whiskey, like get your fermentations down. Like that is number one, because all of that shit will carry over in distillation, and people, you know, so craft beer and distilling is a cool hobby now, right? Well, like drinking especially, it is, we've made it into a hobby, which is nice as long as we can do it responsibly. But I don't know, people get caught up in just saying they can do it, and not everyone can. There is a lot of bad beer, there's a lot of bad distillate out there, and you know, I don't want to hate on anyone, but just fucking be humble and know what you're doing. And yeah, but the key is work your ass off and get your foot in the door in any way you can, because you never know like where that can actually go. One of our longtime brewers, Kyle, who is not with us anymore, but so Kyle started in our kitchen in our brew pub when he was as a dishwasher, I think, when he was like 16. And then he started, we brought him back to the brewery because he worked his ass off. He was there all the time. He was humble. You know, he asked a lot of questions, and we brought him on as a brewer. He fucking ruled. He was better than I was, that's for sure. And then we sent him over to War Pigs in Copenhagen to be the first head brewer over there. And he lived over there for a couple years, and he's now at, oh God, sorry, Kyle, if I fucked this up. Tired hands? Something with hands in it. He's
attacking you right now.
Yeah, can you see it?
Yeah,
you
I just see the shadow. I'm like that's attacking. I get it.
I'm honestly surprised that the one isn't like sitting right here because he loves the computer. But yeah, I mean, it's the point is, it's like just get your foot in the door wherever you can. Honestly.
That's awesome. Well,
yeah.
Cheers to that. So. Yeah,
fuck yeah, cheers to that. Well, should I pour? Are you gonna pour another shot, or is that your one?
Yep. I already switched glasses. I went to a big boy glass, so.
Well, we pour another one, I guess. Jesus. Fuck it, I got nothing to do tomorrow.
I can't shoot it, but I'll sip it for you. So
fine. I'll shoot it for you. It's okay.
All right. Cheers. Okay. Article 5, our last final drink. Not even midnight yet. What are we drinking?
We are drinking our Divine Right aged whiskey. It says 17, but technically it's 18 months.
Okay.
So same malt bill, it's just about 97, 98% corn, and then put in a brand new charred and toasted barrel for 18 months. And look at this fancy ass glass I got.
There you go. Really is just one of the most beautiful glasses that we have. So
I fucking love it. I love all those details. And Millennium Falcon obviously is yeah. Not sure if you can tell we're fucking nerds over here.
Oh no, I love it. Again, best friends for life. Like it literally. Better. But
wait, your pour is bigger than mine. Hold on, let me.
Well, again, I have a way heavier hand, so I'm just.
No way, that's fair. I used to. This might be. You know what? No, fuck it. So, how I used to like pick my men that I used to like date or go after is I would just send them shots of whiskey and see if they could handle it, and if they couldn't, it was a hard no. Most of them couldn't.
Yeah.
But if I can outdrink you, it's not going to happen.
That there you go. That's a good.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, way different, right? That softens up.
But it's so smooth. Like that's just a good sipper. Like that is such a
especially for how young it is. Like that color is kind of insane. It kind of blew my mind a little bit.
Yeah, no, but like the flavors that you're getting off of it are just so cool. Like that.
Yeah.
You're getting that like the banana, the marshmallow, like
Totally.
that kind. And I hate when people say like, "Oh, I taste."
No. Well, that's the fun part about sensory, right? It's like everything is subjective. So like you literally cannot be wrong.
Yeah. No. But you'd be like, no, there was nothing in it to give you that marshmallow or banana taste.
Well, no, I mean, especially the white whiskey. The first thing I said when I tasted it, I'm like, that's marshmallow. I mean, that is it.
Yeah.
And so like that, I'm so glad that carries over to the rest of one because it's just, I don't know.
Like creme brulee. That's
Creme brulee, exactly. And that little crust on the top. Oh,
yeah. Like that is fucking burnt sugar, sweetness, amazing. Like
absolutely.
that is a good fucking sipper across the board. Like that is.
Thank you.
Oh no, thank you.
Man, I just miss restaurants now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right. So, question 5, flip of the coin question. Yes or no? You don't have to answer. The coin will answer for you. So.
But what if the coin has the wrong answer?
Then, the coin answers. So, like that's
it.
That's it. So,
okay.
I mean, you can answer for us. I've had many people say no. Like I've had them answer before they flip the coin, but like it just.
I'll flip the coin, then I'll answer. It depends on what this says. Okay.
All right. So
these are great, by the way. This is cute as hell. I love this.
Oh, it's a fucking weapon, by the way. So if you ever just need to carry it with you because you never know when you'll need to make an important life decision, so you can just flip that across the board and just be like, "No, I'm not doing that." Or yeah.
So when that's fucking hilarious that you say that. Maybe not related, but especially like when I go shopping for clothes and like shoes and shit, if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no. So like this fits totally.
Yeah, there you go.
Love it. I love it. Okay.
But
all right, continue.
Also, it's a good weapon. So if anybody just comes at you, just fucking just whip it at them. So it's
it's like what like a good 9 pounds. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
It'll fuck you up. So it definitely put a ding in the melon. So
yes, it will.
All right. So, being a girl from Wisconsin, are cheese curds squeaky?
I know the answer to this too, but let's see what the coin says. Fuck no! I do not agree with that at all. They have to be squeaky. They have to be squeaky.
Excellent. I'm right there with you. Yes, they have to be. Abby, thank you so much for joining us. 5 drinks down, 5 questions, not even close to midnight. Until we can drink in person, please be safe. And as every Wisconsin night says, say hi to your parents for me. So
says hi to your mom and dads for me.
Say hi.
Thank you so much. This is a fucking blast, especially on a Monday. This is like the right way to start the week. Thank you so much.